Good afternoon. What is a warm, bright and sunny day. It is Friday, the 11th of August. I've got a nice little cup of tea. And parcel to continue unboxing, which has these in it, which are issues of Senet Magazine, and I've done unboxings of issue 7 and 6. So the next one is 8, and this was published in the summer of 2022, so last year, and this is the magazine which states that board games are beautiful, and that's indeed true of the modern board game, where they are as much artifacts in themselves as playable sort of like games. So we open up, cut away, for reasons which I hope will become clear, and we open up. We have as is tradition, the editorial, and we move on to the contents page, and behold, which is the preview section. Essentially, this is a preview of games that were coming out sometime in the last year. So that, this is asking something. What's coming out? What does it look like? What's its nearest equivalent to? How interesting is it? And in hindsight, it's always essentially always a good idea to sort of go back and have a look at these and see, has this game been released? Did it live up to the claims for it? Was it worth your time? So we have Rolling Heights and Blazeball, the card game, and you can see how well they are presenting the artwork and the look of the game in the magazine. We have Library Labyrinth and Autobahn, London Necropolis Railway. There's a game about the London Necropolis Railway. Absolutely fantastic. The London Necropolis Railway essentially ran from the centre of London, sort of like from near Waterloo out to sort of like the Surrey countryside, where there was this massive cemetery designed to cope with the overflow from the capital, and it ran for about basically 80-90 years, literally just running funeral trains. And there's a whole culture about that, and there are a couple of novels about the Necropolis Railway, and there's at least one Call of Cthulhu scenario for it as well. So I'm going to have to go and find that board game, because it is a fascinating subject. Okay, then we old King's Crown, and the letters page, and essentially scoring the game. This love the game is Tristan Hall's ongoing development of his board game, and this is essentially this is talking about mostly about the gloom of Kilforth, and this is essentially it says let the music play, how presumably how music influences his designs. And then we have an advert for UK Games Expo, the UK's biggest board gaming and gaming event, biggest and best hobby games convention, held at NEC every year, and I've been to every one. I keep going back, and so it's always worth going to. We're the first of a series of articles in issue 8. This is looking at the application of science and asking the question, can board games be used to teach science? Can a game work as a teaching tool? Can educational games ever be fun? These questions lie at the nucleus of science-themed game design. So, and this is looking at sort of like games themed around science, going all the way back through the history of board games, starting off with this one. Let's see what that one actually, it doesn't actually say what it is. I'll see whether there's some indication. Previous spread, get your head around 1845's Circle of Knowledge. I'm coming a bit more up to date. And then So through the top STEM-based games, so we list there, and including, so for biology we've got evolution, climate. For chemistry, compounded, physics, leaving Earth. I've got compound. That's a really nice little game. Really nice little components. You get the feel for it for designing, and putting together elements and into compounds and so on, and scoring points. Then we have basically a card from Wingspan teaching about ornithology. And then in each issue they also talk about a particular type of game, worker placement, use of the roundel, deck building. And this article, trust no one, is suspect everyone, is the social deduction game. And then, so essentially we're looking at sort of like things like resistance is probably the best, most well-known one, along with mafia or werewolf. And coming up to more up to date, where you are looking at things like Battlestar Galactica and the more recent version set aboard a ship sailing across the ocean beset by deep ones. And then also you've got, killing Hitler. Can you kill Hitler before his rise to power? And you don't know who Hitler is, which is a bit odd because Hitler, being Hitler is all about telling who you really are. So yeah, lots of lovely illustrations and discussion of part of this theme and mechanic. And then you have the other thing the magazine does is it always interviews an artist and asks them about their processes and what they've worked on and what and how they got interested in art and so on, what their influences are, and in the sky's the limit. It's interviewing Andrew Bosley, and as you can see, as well as showcasing the board games, it also showcases the art artist. So yeah, absolutely fantastic artwork. And more. So you've got quite a lengthy little showcase of Andrew Bosley's artwork. And then a storyteller, and then we have an interview with the designer Nikki Valens, talking about her storytelling game, Artisans of Splendor, and it's her who's actually on the cover there, as you can see, I believe. Flip back to it too. So replicated but in different colour there, and talking about her processes of creating a game after sort of like having created a huge horror titles of Fantasy Flight games. And the other thing about this, of course, is that you get a chance to delve into their ideas about games, and what they think of them, in retrospect. It's like, what do I think of the designs now? What would I do different? And so on. As well as give you an idea of what the game is like, and then want to go and look at it, or look at their previous designs if you've not come across them before. Unboxed is the review section, giving nice full-page spreads to, and so on, and for, basically to a variety of different games from 2022. Some of them look interesting, some of them don't, but they're worth reading about and looking to see whether they might interest you. And Red Flag Over Paris, that looks quite interesting. Politics games, sort of like looking perhaps at that looks to be essentially a board game about the establishment of the commune following the fall of Napoleon III in 1870-71 with the attack by Bismarck's Prussian army. And then Cryptid. And then How to Play talks about how to welcome new players. Always a delicate task, but something worth discussing. It's worth thinking about because, you welcome them properly, you introduce them to games they like, they'll be back for more. And lastly, we have the Shelf of Shame, which is the article where a couple of board gaming hobby personalities, designers, to reviewers and so on, pull off a game off their shelf that has been up there for too long, left unplayed, and I finally get to play it and find out whether or not it is worth their time pulling it off the shelf, or should they have actually just left it up there. So yeah, that is Senet issue number 8. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you take the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you see me out here with a package containing a book or game, or in this case a magazine, which I will unbox and talk about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.